Hey guys. Okay, so I was just at Eastwoods, right? I was watching the game. Eastwoods, for those of you that don't know, it's like this. I can't even call it a sports bar. It's like a pub thing where people can also jive. So this girl, right? And I mean, this happens quite often. This female, she's obviously dressed in a certain way, and she's walking like from one side of the room or whatever to the other side. And as she's walking, there's these two guys standing there. And this one guy, like, he says something, he comments about it, like the way she's dressed. And the other guy just stands there quiet. And, and she takes 2 or 3 steps past him and she turns around and looks at him like, like, what is your beef? Why are you talking to me? And it, like, for the first time in my life, that kind of just reminded me of, or I linked it to attention seeking on our spiritual journeys. In the sense that, sometimes we do things or we put personas on or we put character traits on in the spirit, seeking specific attention, right? Or seeking attention, or maybe you just, maybe you're that person that says, oh no, but I put it on because I want to look good, and when I'm wearing that dress or that skirt or that top or those pants or whatever, if you're a guy, then you think to myself, yeah, but I look good, and as a result of what we've put on, we get attention. We get a certain type of attention, and that attention can either come from the guy who said something about it, or the attention, or we don't get any attention at all. Like the guy, the friend who kind of just stood there and looked at her as she walked past. And I just thought, it's like, I mean, she obviously had an agenda when she got dressed tonight, knowing that she was going out and it was cold, but she still decided to wear that short thing on or whatever. But she obviously had an agenda. And the type of attention that she got isn't necessarily the type of attention that she wanted. And I just thought to myself, like, how would that look on us if we were to look at our spiritual journeys or our spiritual profiles with sin, because sometimes we want, maybe we want God's attention and we're like, look, I'm doing this specifically because I want God's attention. But in acting in such a way to get God's attention, maybe we catch the attention of another Christian or a Christian. Maybe we catch Satan's attention. We get this attention that we didn't necessarily want or need or look for or bargain for. And then how do we address that? Because the rest of the evening you could see that she was like, she was constantly having to say to people, no, look, I'm okay, or leave me alone, or I'm sharp. But then, the more I saw the situation, the more I just thought, okay, but look at how you're dressed. You know what I mean? And understand the context that you've come into, and how did you think that you were just going to sit and chill or walk around by yourself? What did you expect to happen? And the more I looked at the situation, the more Holy Spirit just said to me, okay, but Katie, like, what have you put on? If it's intentionally or not, if it's with regards to sin or not. Like, it's not just that we saying, okay, cool, yes, I'm a Christian, so I'm good. I wake up in the morning. Whether or not I pray the armor of God over me, there's things that I do in my daily life that actually mean I'm putting on certain things, so that when I'm looked at, when my spirit is looked at, I'm portraying as a certain character or whatever you want to call it. And oh my gosh, like, even just thinking about it now, I just think, if you read the Old Testament, I'm an Old Testament person. If you read the Old Testament, how many times is God saying, okay, but you guys, you're playing the harlot, like it's prostitution. Like, God is saying, you are my people and you're just prostituting yourselves out there. So there's all these things that we can do to solicit attention, but what type of attention are we soliciting? So it's just a thing of, like, as much as I'm encouraging you guys to do it, that's actually legit something that I think I have to go, that I want to go and do is to sit down and say, okay, well, the things that I'm doing, the and if you're not sure around the things that you're doing, then look at the way you're thinking, the things that I'm building, the things that I'm attracting, like in the physical, the things that I'm saying, just all of it, what type of persona have I actually built or what type of persona have I created? Am I happy with that? Because if I look at myself and I think, okay, well, Katie, you kind of slutty, and I use that word because I just think, if I just think about some of the experiences that I've had over the past couple of years, sometimes then I'll be like, okay, maybe I feel like I need to pray a bit more now than I normally do because I'm really trusting God for something. And then as soon as he gives it to me, or as soon as he says no, then I change my mind and I go back to doing something else, or behaving in a certain way, or doing a certain thing. All these things, it's just like, okay, well, how is the person that you are with Holy Spirit? How is the person that you are with the Father? How is that changing? Depending on the circumstance that you're in, is that fair to the relationship that you have with him? Is it the type of relationship you actually want? Guys, the truth. His Instagram handle is Truth on Duty. Please go and watch this video that he posted about his YouTube channel, or that he posted on his YouTube channel. Obviously on Instagram it's just a 1-minute clip, but one of the things that he says there that I think it's he's found the perfect way to put it is, there's no denying that somebody who says that they're a follower of Jesus, like, that looks a certain way, and I guess the question is, like, how do you look? How do I look? Are we happy with that, and aren't we? If we aren't happy with that, then what are the things that we have to do to change it? If we are happy with that, like, are you really, because there's always something I think that we can do until we get to that place of perfection, which we'll never accomplish here on earth. I think there's always something that we can do to just, to make us look more like Christ, to make us actually look more like Christ. And the more we look like Christ, the more of that attention, I'm trying to say, the more of that attention we will attract, the more. So, and it's not to say that we'll only be getting attention from one side, because if you look at the life of Jesus, you actually see there was attention from heaven's side and there was attention from hell's side, but who he was, the character, then sided him kind of with heaven. So this is not really about the character. This is really just, I'm really just thinking, okay, well, what do we look like? What do you look like? What do I look like? Because, as much as people are sight beings, or whatever you call it, as much as men love looking, as much as women love looking, I'm just thinking tomorrow's Avengers, and, as much as I love to see Captain America in Captain America suit, I don't, like, if he was standing in front of me, I'd be like, honey, you can take off the suit, like, let us just appreciate the body. I don't know why I said that. Anyway, but yeah, it's legit, like, just what do we look like, and because that has, that attracts some attention. And are we happy with that attention or not? And from that attention, hopefully our character can sustain us. So, yeah.